This is 21 July. Just make it official and stop dancing around this democracy nonsense. This is a kingdom, not a republic. How do you have Munumtapa trust without Munumtapa king? Who is the trustee and who is the beneficiary? Why do you hate yourself and your past to force colonial governance on your land and people? Hashtag Constitutional Amendment Bill number 4. Change the constitution from republic to kingdom. We have rotational royal house. Ushema Zoro, put on your crowns, royal children. Stop acting like adopted Commonwealth kids. Now let's end here. We don't need to read any more nonsense from Maponga. Now, believers, as we speak right now, Maponga is advocating that ZANU-PF introduces a new constitutional amendment bill, which he has already called CAB4. They amended the constitution recently, extended the parliamentarians and the presidential term of office by 2 more years to 7 years, which means if there are going to be elections, they have to happen in 2030. But if you look at what Maponga is posting, he says, no, ED must be in office until 2037, which means there is a need to amend the constitution again to avoid 2030 elections. So the constitutional amendment bill that is coming shall be CAB4. But he also introduces a new idea. We don't need a republic. In other words, there is no need for democracy. We need a monarch system. We already have a Munumtapa trust, according to him. I don't know about it. But he wants a Munumtapa king. That's what he's saying now. So if you listen to what they are saying, all these minions and praise singers, they are all talking about a Munumtapa kingdom. I saw at some point a few days ago someone calling President Mnangagwa King Munumtapa, which is very strange because the royal family of the Mutapa kingdom does not trace to Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is not a member of that family by any stretch of imagination. But let's leave that one. How does a Shumba Murambwi take the throne of the Varoshi? How does it happen? Unless you don't know these things, I am not responsible for ignorance. You might need to ask your God for help. But back to these issues. When I call Maponga a ZANU-PF lapdog, it's not just a brand. I'm describing what he is doing. The majority of Zimbabweans complained they were not happy that the Mnangagwa regime amended the constitution, extended the term of office for President Mnangagwa and his executive and his parliament, because it is not serving the interests of the people. Maponga did not criticize CAB3. He supported it. In fact, he is the one who introduced the CAB4 idea.
Oh, yeah.
He says, let's do it again. Let's amend the constitution again. We want Mnangagwa to govern until 2037. Mark my words. This is not Maponga's dreams that he is sharing in broad daylight. This is a ZANU-PF plan. There is no plan for President Mnangagwa to retire in 2030. There is no plan. So the CAB4 issues he wrote on Facebook is evidence that he is doing the devil's bidding. Maponga is a ZANU-PF new recruit to preach a message that creates a picture that things are going well in Zimbabwe. President Mnangagwa is doing a great job. Why should he go? Let him stay and finish the projects that he is doing. I don't want to comment on the issue of President Mnangagwa's term office. I just wanted you to know that he represents a media mafia, people who are doing gatekeeping on behalf of ZANU-PF. They do two things. They push an agenda to force the people to accept the status quo, claim that things are going well, so that there's no need to say, President Mnangagwa must go. Let's go for 2028 elections. This is what he represents. On the second side, they must also challenge those who speak against the regime so that the gatekeeping becomes complete. Praise the regime, attack the critics of the regime. That is the MOU. That is the modus operandi. They want to defend the regime by attacking the critics of the regime. So we won't give any credibility to the so-called Maponga attacks. It's an objurgation that is aimed at causing us to shift our attention from the elephant in the room, the negligence of the government in the Kariba disaster.
Yeah.
So now that I've addressed Maponga's criticisms of me, they are now out of the way. Let's talk about the main issue.
Yeah.
When Mnangagwa took over in 2017, I told you Zimbabweans that the nation has entered into a dark environment, a dark phase. And I said, as the Mnangagwa presidency stays longer in power, things are going to get tougher and it's going to get darker and darker. I did not say it once. I did not say it twice. I kept on saying it. How many people are left in Zimbabwe who publicly speak sense to the state of affairs in Zimbabwe? How many people boldly say this is wrong, this is right? How many people do you still see writing on social media saying this is wrong? How many? Nelson Chamisa said, I don't want to join the BTs when they started their Constitutional Defenders Forum or something like that, CDF. He said there's no constitution to defend. But when it was signed into law, he said, I criticize the new law because it takes away the rights of the people.